Welcome to Check Your Fly. I'm Dave Sanford and this is Will Morton on the back of the boat here, and we got a double hookup today. We're out in front of Barrington. We're up on the beach there looking for some bluefish. There's some little blues out in front of us here, back of us I should say. What do you get on for a fly today, Will?
I have a Clouser Deceiver cross, which is a more of a bright green than an olive. Sort of a cross between a chartreuse and an olive, with a peacock girl and some white hackle feathers on the back. I decided to bring my 6-weight today, which is a lot of fun on this fish.
Yeah. You didn't even have a bigger fish than I do. I have a regular Deceiver olive and white deer here, and some lead eyes on it. Nice little striper here. We're out in front here, in front of Barrington at the lake. There's a couple other guys fly fishing here, so let's see if we can catch a few more. Oh, there we go. Oh, nice fish. They're laying right behind this rock out here waiting for the bait. The tide is moving to the south here, and they just like to sit behind those rocks and wait for that bait to come down. The funny thing we see all the time is that we'll be fishing here, and the people further up the Providence River here get in their boats and they want to go to the ocean to catch fish, and there's tons and tons of fish in all these little marinas, estuaries, coves. You just have to take the time to search them out, especially in the spring. Now all this bait fish, these silversides, are starting to move out into the bay here, in the upper part of the bay here, and so has the fish. But there's still fish in the coves up there too.
A lot of food for them. We're starting to see the crab hatch come out.
Yep, the crab hatch is going on. I was out last night and I lost my other clouser. I had a nice, just all olive green clouser with red eyes, and it was so small, but the bluefish were picking it right up. Just a little bit bigger, Will.
Yeah.
About the same size as you got before. Come on, baby. There we go. There we go. Just stick your finger in, you put your thumb in his mouth. Look at that. Doesn't that fish look beautiful?
Really nice. Sun shining off him like that.
Yep. You can also go to our website. Will earlier this spring caught a pug-nosed striper. We were fishing down the Green River, and what was your first reaction when you saw that fish?
What happened to this fish? It looked like it had its whole front face bit chewed off by another fish, but it turns out that it's a disease that they get. Is it a disease or is it a birth defect?
It's a birth defect when they're a baby. We tag for the American Littoral Society, and you can get them at the littoralsociety.org if you want to learn how to tag fish or buy tags for them. So I called them up right away, and we found out that they call it a pug-nosed striper. And you can go to our website at checkyourfly.com and check out this pug-nosed striper that Will caught. I think we caught like 40-50 fish that day.
And they were all big too.
They were all nice fish. I think the smallest one was maybe 20 inches. I think we're up to 27 inches here. Look at the bait coming through this little rip here. Well, I'm gonna get back up the front here and catch a few more fish. We also have the new rods from Temple Fork. Temple Fork has sent us some rods. Will and I have been enjoying them. They've been
very affordable and very castable.
right, and that's the big thing that we want to do, is we want to make sure that we want to make fly fishing affordable. Oh, look at this, right near the boat. And reasonable, because there's a lot of new people trying to get into the sport, and it can be very expensive. But you don't need to do that. You can start off with a rig from Temple Fork. They have, I think, a Kuma reel on it with a Temple Fork rod. I think you can pick packages up from $89 to like $150. Already rigged with the backing on it, fly line. Look at this fish. Oh God, he saw the boat. And all ready to go. All you'd have to do is buy some flies from the local tackle shop. Quaker Lane has the rods and reels, and so does Saltwater Edge. We have a 10 weight, an 8 weight, a 9 weight, and a 12 weight that we will be fishing with this year. So we're all excited with the new rods, and of course we fish with the Teton Tioga reels. We have both, very affordable. You can also today we're standing here on East Matunuck Beach. I'm with Bob Moeller from the Rhode Island Saltwater Anglers Association. And what are you doing here today, Bob?
Well, Dave, I'm the chairman of our new public access committee, and Rissa wanted to kick off the year with a cleanup day, come to some of our public accesses and do a little bit of cleanup from what was left over from the fall and winter and get things nice and clean for the upcoming season.
Well, it's great that somebody, will take the pride and clean this up, because we know, through the season it really gets really messy here, and sometimes we can have some animals that people don't like, and it's by cleaning it up in the beginning of the year, I think people will take a little bit of pride and say, wow, look how clean this is. And hopefully the fishermen that bring the stuff onto the rocks and the visitors that come and bring the stuff on the rocks will do what the state's asking them by putting it in a plastic bag and taking it home with them.
Well, I hope that's the case too, and we hope that as people see us doing things like this throughout the year, members of our group will be watching public accesses near their own homes, that kind of thing, that the feeling will catch on and people will start picking up after themselves, and will basically help the state out a little bit, because they're always short of manpower too.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know the people that live around public access areas, they get very upset when people come and leave stuff there, and the better that we maintain it, if we use that public access, the more these public accesses will open up to us, and these people will open up with open arms and let us come in and fish in those spots, because there's fish throughout the whole state. I mean, I've fished in Warwick and Barrington, over to Warren, and there's some real beautiful pristine spots that you really don't want to start littering, and but then there's a lot of stuff too that wash up on a lot of these beaches. I mean, I'll walk in and it's like, oh my God, it's a mess, and sometimes I'll take a bag with me and fill a bag up and take it home with me. And
yeah, no, I agree entirely. As a matter of fact, some of these public accesses, there's still leftover building lots, and like the one behind us here, it's somebody new that's come in and built a nice, beautiful new home. We want them to know that the people that use these access areas are going to pitch in and clean up. They don't have to worry about the litter in their front yards, and we want to keep the areas open.
Right, and not only are you going to do this beach, I guess there's a couple other spots that
right.
The work is going on right now, and you even have some junior people involved.
Right,
today?
Some of our younger members, our junior members, are over at the Black Point area right now in Narragansett, and then they're going to move up to the Bass Rocks access, and then after all said and done, they'll be having a little fun. One of the guys is going to give them some casting lessons, and
oh wow!
So they'll enjoy the afternoon a little bit too.
That's great. And I guess the state has also joined in with you. I mean,
yeah,
in helping you out.
Yeah, we've had great support from DEM and Fisheries. Even though it's Sunday, they've gotten trucks here for us to help with the pickup, and they've just been doing all they can to make sure today's a success and we get done what we want to get done.
Well, I found Steve Medeiros from the Rhode Island Saltwater Anglers Association among the rocks here, cleaning out some of the debris, and I figured I just asked, yeah, you know, there's a couple more programs coming up. Take a kid, inner city kid fishing.
Right, Saturday, June 14th. That's our 6th annual Take a City Kid Fishing Day. Hopefully it's bigger than last year. We've expanded. We've invited more groups to bring kids along. Last year we had over 200 people involved, 45 member boats. We all meet Greenwich Bay Marina will be our host marina this year. They're graciously opening up the grounds for us, and they'll put slips available for all of those boats. Hopefully it's a lot more this year. More of our members will sign up. And we take all the kids out fishing in Greenwich Bay, catching little bluefish for a few hours on that Saturday morning. Then they all go back to the marina for a big cookout that we put on for everybody.
That's great. That's great. And then you also have a tagging program also that's hooked up with the...
Yeah, we're affiliated with the American Littoral Society.
Right.
And so we tag fish for them. We have a tag and release committee ourselves, and we have the tags available at our meetings for members that they can purchase the tags. And we, besides sending them in to ALS, we also keep our own track of fish that were tagged. So, and it's nice to catch them again.
Then at the end of the year, I guess you, for the most junior and senior tags given out, you give awards for that too?
Right, we started that for most tagged fish for juniors and adults.
That's great, that's great, that's great. Now, when you have these meetings, where is this meeting located? Like, I think it's Coventry?
We meet at the Coventry West Greenwich Elks, which is almost right at exit 6 off 95.
Okay, okay.
We average about 150 to 200 or so people every month at the meetings.
Okay. All right. It looks good. It looks like you're on your way of filling up that truck out there.
Yeah, we had dozens of people showing up today. Besides here, we have another crew at Black Point that go in there, and then they're going to do a couple other spots along the Narragansett shore.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. Well, thanks a lot, Steve, and keep up the great work here. Yeah. And let's go pick some trash up.
Okay.
All right. So Cody, how do you think things turned out today?
They turned out really good. Like I said, we got 4 places done. But of course, we couldn't have done it without DEM. They helped out a lot. They brought out the trash bags. They brought out a lot of other equipment for us to use.
You filled 2 dump trucks, maybe 3 dump trucks?
Yes, and there's still another, like everyone else said, there's still another group down at the west wall.
Yep,
they're still picking up.
We were with them earlier this morning, so we did an interview with them. They were hauling off nets, traps, other trash, beer cans, plastic bags that the turtles pretty soon will be coming up, and the turtles end up eating those plastic bags and dying or getting them, trapped and everything. So
it's hard, especially when you're fishing. Like if you all of a sudden see a school of fish and you have a beer can, your first reaction is to throw it away. It's to put it down and it will blow away. Most of the time, the trash that gets tossed, it's sometimes by accident. Other times it's just left there, and we try to prevent that.
Right. Well, I think you guys did a great job. I saw you all scouring the beach today, like crabs, picking up stuff and throwing in the recycle bags and packing it up on the truck. So, I have to thank you as a fisherman myself.
Thank you.
Everybody from Check Your Fly thanks you, and we had a great day with your organization. Well, I hope that people will see this, and the juniors out in the field there will jump on the Rhode Island Saltwater Anglers Association and become members.
Because fishing is only going to continue if we can get young people in.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
No problem.
Have a great day.
You too.
Well, Bob, we're at the final spot here, and the beaches look pretty good, the ones that you guys have been working on. So.
Yeah, we hit about 7 different locations today. We had about 3 dozen people show up and did a really good job today, I think.
Yeah, looks excellent. So what's your next project?
Well, we've got a lot of things coming up. The Jamestown Bridge is now coming to the point where they're considering that demolition and the construction of a fishing pier that's to follow that, so we want to keep our eyes on that. We're going to be slowly but surely looking over the public access areas in the state and trying to make sure that they are still open and identifiable and accessible to the public. So that right there is quite a bit.
That's a handful right there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I had a great day working with your organization, and I hope people
As did we. We really appreciate you coming out to
see this and join up. And again, do they have a website that they can go to?
Sure. www.risaa.org.
Okay, and I guess they can register for a newsletter or whatever
Absolutely.
and pick up a newsletter for a little while, and if they'd like to join and see what's going on, they can also do that.
Absolutely. And we hold our monthly seminars the last Monday of each month over in the Elks Club on Route 3 in Coventry, and they can stop by there too to see what the club is about.
There we go, another doubleheader. Look at that, right next to the boat too, see that? God, it's nice.
But anyhow, in terms of bluefish,
Yeah.
the smaller ones, very edible. I like to smoke them too.
Yeah, I've had some smoked bluefish with smoked marlin on the crackers, like a pate.
Sure.
You know? So
I might need the gaff for this one.
this is why I keep missing, you know, those fish you say I hook up and I miss. It's these little guys right here. But you know what? They're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun to catch. I'm glad to see them. I mean, look at that. That fish is beautiful.
Another month, they'll be 2 inches long.
Yep. They got plenty of bait. That's the great thing about it. The silver sides came in this spring. We did really well. We had to go to the deceiver that we were using is a gold or a yellow deceiver. And we did very well with it. Had a lot of fun. I got a call from a friend of ours, Chris Diacutis, from the Rhode Island State DEM. And what they're going to do is, in this part of the bay from like Kinnimacket, well actually they go into the upper bay. They test the oxygen levels,
Okay.
because the plankton and they have the algae blooms.
Yep.
And when that algae dies and falls to the bottom of the bay, that's when it depletes the oxygen and while it's falling. And what he does is he finds out where it's the worst and what it's actually doing to the bay and what they can do to prevent this from happening. One of the good things this year is they kicked the pogie boat out, and they left a lot of big bunker up here this year, which I'm excited to see because those bunker actually help clean the bay. Quahogs help clean the bay because they're all filter feeders, you know. Other years they would come up here and just clean them all out and we wouldn't have any. And I think the algae blooms were kind of real bad, you know, so hopefully this year we'll get through it and we won't have as many nasty algae blooms.
With rain, we haven't had a lot of rain, so that's going to keep some algae bloom from happening.
Yeah, yep. So we'll be looking pretty soon. We'll probably have a Narragansett Bay feature with Chris Diacutis in there because he wants us to come out and help him again this year. If everything lines up well, maybe we can go out. We start at midnight and there's usually about 8 boats, about 7 or 8 universities involved, the state of Rhode Island, the Narragansett Bay Commission is involved, Save the Bay. John Torgan is usually on one of the boats. Save the Bay volunteers their boat to go out and help the scientists go out and collect all this data. So it's pretty interesting. And then we're done at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And the thing is too, especially like if you're casting a bigger fly, I found out, you know, my experience with bigger flies is you might have to do 25, 30 casts before you catch one fish on it, but that one fish that you catch is a nice fish, you know? That bigger striper is going to wait to make sure that that fly looks perfect and it looks just like a bait fish before he hits it, you know? So don't give up on your bigger flies. I like using bigger flies. Today I'm using a smaller clouser here, but that's what they're catching. That's what we're catching the fish on. So might as well stick with it, and all the bait in the water is the same size. the little silver sides. It kind of represents a little silver side with the olive green on top and the white on the bottom. Well, why don't we go to a tackle talk since things have slowed down and we have to make a decision of where we want to move to next, and go to one of our local tackle shops and check out what the guys are making for flies down there. Welcome to Check Your Fly. I'm Dave Sanford and this is Eric Thomas from Saltwater Edge, and we're at the boat show, Providence Boat Show, and what are we going to tie up today, Eric?
Today we're going to tie what I call a cam fly. It's just a small little fly that works very well in the springtime with the silver sides of things that come up into the river and up into our bays. So we're going to start with the hook and the vise, and it's a small hook. It's a 254 SS Eagle Claw size number 1, and it's a very simple fly to tie. I'm going to start out with some silver Tywell Sparkle Flash. And I'm going to take this, fold it in half, and cut it in half. And I'm going to pick out the ends. I do not want the ends to be flat. So I'm always picking out the ends to make a staggered look. And I'm going to fold this in about 1/3, 2/3, and this silver flash is going to be the longest part of the fly. And now I'm going to incorporate the flash for the belly of the fly. If you take a look at the example here, you'll notice that everything tied underneath is that silver flash. And this is something that I noticed from the years of fishing, that the under part of the fish is quite flashy. Now the rest of this fly is tied right at the eye of the hook, and it's just a matter of a couple of kinds of bucktail, starting with the lightest color first, working my way up, blending some different colors, cull out the short fibers, and that's about all I need. The most prominent part of this fly is going to be the silver stomach, the silver gut of this fly. So just make sure that covers the hook shank. I'm going to take a little bit of pink, just enough to get a hint of color. Talking 7/8 strands. Okay. Lay that right in on top. When you're tying flies, it's real easy to tie a fly that looks good on the side that's facing you. If you forget to look at the other side, you can run into some trouble. So that's seated better. I've covered that pink with the olive, but you can still see it through the rest of the fly. Now to finish this fly, I'm going to take some peacock, and I've got 4, 5 strands of peacock. And I'm going to lay this down there and measure. Lay it right on top. Now the fly looks good. I can take my scissors and I can make it look just a little bit better by putting my scissors right underneath here and kind of rolling it out like you would make a ribbon for a present. You take the scissors and you zip it and you make your curly ribbon. And the last thing is always the head cement, and I'll put the head cement right over the eyes, and once this dries you won't be able to see those wraps of the monofilament tying thread. Now this fly again is very productive in the springtime. I will also tie it in various colors for false albacore and bonito in the fall. This is an anchovy type pattern. And this is another pattern using all angel hair, as well as the other one was. And it's just a nice little fly. It does very well in the springtime. And I hope you try one of these and go out and catch some fish with it.
Looks like a nice fish, Will.
Yep. The sun's coming out, it's getting a lot slow.
Oh.
Boy, these Temple Forks, I tell you.
Oh, he looks like a nice striper. Oh, he is, yeah. Finally decided to bite. Slow it up a little here for us. Yeah, I'll get him. Oh, yeah. He's still got a lot of fight in him.
He saw you.
Yeah, the Temple Fork really has a great action to it. Casting in, bring the fish to the boat. Oh yeah, well that's a nice fish.
There we go.
Yeah, look at that fly. Tell them what you got in that fly.
Fly is just chartreuse bucktail with some hackle coming off the back and a little bit of black peacock curl to make it look like that silver side, that black stripe going down the side of the silver side, and then some pearl essence crystal fly.
Oh, he's happy to be back in the water.
Yep.
Well, from all of us at Check Your Fly, and we're glad to have Will Morton aboard now. I think we're going to have a lot of fun this summer catching a lot of stripers, bluefish, squetig. We caught a 27-inch squetig just a couple weeks ago. Tagged him and let him go. Some fluke, tautog. Of course, not the tautog. We caught those on crabs, but we wanted a little white meat for the freezer. Actually, we let him go, right?
Yeah, we did. We tagged him and
we tagged him. So, if you want to find out more about the show, what happened today, you can go to our website at checkyourfly.com. We have a reports page where Will and I and anybody that fishes in Narragansett Bay can go and post what they did fishing that day, and it's a great way to let people know, where the fish are biting in the bay. So you can be out at Block Island. We have a friend in Block Island that keeps sending us reports from Block Island, and that's fabulous. Even up the Cape, if somebody from the Cape wants to send us a report from there, you go away on vacation or something, put it on the reports page. We'd love to hear from you. And Will, you got the cooking show coming up?
Yeah, we're gonna do some first cooking show here shortly, and show everybody how to use some of that oily bluefish they catch in a manner that tastes actually decent. So we'll be looking at that here shortly in the next episode.
All right, and we want to thank Temple Fork for the rods. They provided rods for us, and Rio Line, Teton Tioga, Steve's Boat Rental for the boat. It's a great day. We had on the boat here. You can go to Steve's. You can get the information off our website also for all the tackle, the gear that we use, the flies that we tie. We're going to start putting more information on there about the materials, how to tie flies. If you have any questions, you can get a hold of Matt, the web designer, or Will, or myself at Dave at checkyourfly.com. The same thing you can add to Will and Matt's name. So if you have any questions, just jump on the website, and we'll be seeing you in the next show.
Want to learn how to fly fish? Come fishing with David Sanford, host of Check Your Fly. We are offering Saturday lessons for both beginner and intermediate level anglers. Many dates available on a first-come, first-served basis. Visit checkyourfly.com for more information and register today.